future.
I like the black and the white.
Elegant, like very elegant, minimal, streamlined.
Hello, welcome to Barcelona. This year, Mobile World Congress extended its reach still further. Quite rightly, most of the razzmatazz went on the dozens of new handsets and tablets that were launched here. But perhaps just as important were the conversations, the negotiations, the deals that were done in the background, as the business world and the consumer world go ever more mobile. But let's start with some new handset razzmatazz. Amongst the new crop of 2012, a common theme emerged that in today's phones, the camera matters as much as the calls.
Making phone call is still the #1 application for a phone, obviously. Yeah. But second to that, the #2 things that people do is taking photos. Photos and music are two things that resonate with the consumer's heart. It embodies who you are, what you have done, and what you love. And Htc One delivers that personal experience to the consumers.
The One, confusingly perhaps, comes in 3 flavours, all with a 4.7-inch screen, quad-core processors, Beats audio sound, and the ability to shoot HD video and take pictures at the same time. All that emphasis on high-quality photography continues with a best-in-show phone now from Nokia.
For the Nokia 808.
As a photo enthusiast, that's of course a fascinating device. I mean, you can see this quite iconic way of showing the lens, which is a 41 megapixel lens. And people could argue, why do I need a 41 megapixel lens, right? It is actually, even if you take a 5 or 8 megapixel picture, it will take, up to 7 pixels to actually figure out, what the right, pixel, that you should store, which gives you amazing images. Or you take a 41 megapixel, picture, and then, later on you crop it down to the size you want without losing resolution. An absolute fantastic imaging experience that combines many assets we have, right? Optics, algorithms, and also, an incredible sensor. You will see that technology more and more make it to a broader portfolio of our devices.
Sony's mobile division, having recently swallowed up its one-time partner Ericsson, had a new handset or 3 on show as well. The Xperia X, P and S Android phones, all of them with an emphasis on build quality and great optics, a 12.1 megapixel camera here. ViewSonic is a much smaller Californian company, does a lot of its manufacturing in China, and is perhaps best known for its projectors, monitors and tablet PCs. They reckon they've seen a gap in the smartphone market by making 2 phones in one.
It's a very thin, slim phone actually, and it's to do with the design. It's a unibody design phone, and as the rest of our range, they are dual SIM phones. So I'm going to show you how the dual SIM actually works. So basically, it's as simple as that, and you introduce one SIM on each side, and it goes there, and you also get an SD card for extra memory. The mobile phone actually works the same as having 2 mobile phones in one. You get different ringtones for each SIM card. You get different files for your data, so you can separate maybe your family phones, your family numbers, and your work colleague numbers. So in reality, it does what it says. It's 2 phones in one.
They're a high-definition movie.
And here's the first phone to go on sale in the UK that uses a new Intel design. Orange have added some design touches of their own and plan to price this so that users can enjoy smartphone functionality without premium smartphone pricing.
The people behind you, they're in the roller coaster. It sits within our Orange branded strategy, which we've been developing for some time. And the idea that we have with this strategy is to bring the smartphone capabilities and access to the mobile internet to even more of our customers. So we have at the moment about half of our customers leaving our shops with a smartphone in their hands. And we have the strong belief that there's the potential for more than that the mobile internet has to offer, some value and a wealth of services to offer to even more of our customers. So we've been working on developing a range of products and smartphones which would be more affordable to be able to bring those services to this other half of our customers not having access to the internet at that point in time.
Medical health is one of the big themes of this year's Mobile World Congress. In my hands, an iPhone with an ECG monitor built into it. Now, Don Jones from Qualcomm Life can explain a little bit more. How's this working, Don?
You're holding the AliveCore ECG monitor case for an iPhone, and it's captured your ECG through the electrodes on the back. Very easy to carry device, and anytime you felt there was a problem, you could actually take your ECG and send it off to your doctor.
And I could monitor myself every day, every hour, whatever I need to be. Yeah?
Exactly. This is
Okay.
very convenient.
A whole range of other devices you've got here. Now tell us a few what they do. The cuff we're familiar with. What's this chap do?
This measures your heart rate and the percent of oxygen in your blood. Very, very simple. It's wireless. You put your finger in it. It takes just a few seconds and measures what's called SpO2, or percent of oxygen in your blood, and your heart rate. Once it's measured, it'll be transmitted off the device. It can go up to the cloud and into your medical record.
And getting that data from device to my doctor, now you've helped that with a new toy for the home, haven't you?
Yes, we've created a very small medical hub that can literally has the instruction set of open the box and plug it in, and then these medical devices can connect to it automatically. You don't need anything else. Your data goes up to the hub and then can be put into various applications on your phone or into your physician's electronic medical record.
This is an intriguingly shaped sensor here. What's that all about?
This is actually a fertility monitor. This is actually a British company called Cambridge Temperature Concepts. This is a sensor. A woman peels off a sticky part, puts it under her arm. It measures core temperature, skin temperature, and activity. And this actually then combined with a medical record and a drug history is used to determine when to have sex, to get pregnant. This is actually available at Boots today, money back guarantee, pregnant in 12 months.
Don, thank you. The health area of turning your gadget into a tricorder from Star Trek, if you will, is a massive growth area at the moment. It's huge. Take a phone, put a dongle on it, turn it into a blood monitoring system, the ability to measure your heartbeat. There's lots of sports apps out there at the moment. A great example, it's not here, but last week Nike launched a shoe that measures how high you jump when you do a slam dunk playing basketball. Now, you take that, add in a buzzword at the moment called gamification, and all of a sudden you can see that people are going to be starting to challenge each other on games like they do computer games, but in actual fact they're going to be running around, doing exercise, measuring their blood, measuring their heartbeat, and that's not only an exciting prospect, but it's also a fascinating prospect, but also it's where we're going next, and that's going to be even better.
And where we're going next, a trio of stories about Angry Birds, a tablet for 40 quid, and a waterproofing technique for phones, all linked by British ingenuity and expertise. First, when Korean giant Samsung wanted a gimmick to help publicise their new Galaxy Note, who was it who thought of doing a tie-in with the next edition of Angry Birds? A PR giant in New York? A brand specialist in LA? No, it was a boutique marketing firm in Covent Garden.
It's all about branding and it's all about interaction. So it's all about getting users and fans, Angry Bird fans, to engage and interact with the Samsung brand in this amazing game. Through that interaction, Samsung can start to build other attributes, social attributes, other areas where they can promote their fantastic products. The Prime Minister will be receiving a copy on the 22nd of March, I can assure you.
Next, a competition for the UK's most innovative mobile company.
But the winning company is Datawind.
Datawind is a UK company that makes very low-cost tablets for internet access across the world. These devices will retail around $57, provide mobile internet access for $2 a month. And they're being inspired, the governments around the world are being inspired to take advantage of this technology. An Angolan operator today announced a 100,000 unit order with Datawind. In India, the government's put out a vision of enabling all 220 million students with these kinds of devices. So it's a technology created by Datawind that's going to revolutionize and bring the next 3 billion internet users on board.
Well, here at Mobile World Congress, we've come to the P2i stand. Dr. Stephen Coulson's going to explain what this British firm is up to.
Great, well let me demonstrate the technology for you. So here I have an untreated piece of paper. As I introduce that into the water, Not surprisingly, it quickly absorbs that water and gets very wet indeed. If I now take a piece of paper we've treated with P2i's Iridium technology, which is our brand name for the electronics sector, where we've now treated 9 million consumer electronic devices with this. As I dip this into the water, it doesn't absorb it. If I drop it in there and really push it under the water, and I'm no magician, look, it completely repels the water.
Let me pick that out of there. So we can even put the duck on top, right? Take it off, and I can vouch for the fact that tissue is dry. So how do you do it? What's the trick?
Well, this is obviously a very impressive demo, but the real value is being able to scale this up and provide a cost-effective industrial process. And this is a technology that provides an ultra-thin protective layer on both the outside and the inside of a device at the same time. Shall I demonstrate it on a real example here? So I've got a phone here, and the untreated phone, when you put water onto it, not surprisingly, it wets out on the phone. If I then do that on the Iridium treated phone, what happens is the water beads up and rolls off. Now that is just a feature of the technology. The benefit is having the protection on the inside. So if we look inside the phone, these have gone through a well-known accelerated life test. And what you can see here is the non-treated, where again water wets out, the device is completely corroded. On the Iridium treated, where the liquid is repelled, there is zero corrosion. So what that actually means to the consumer is that the consumer can go on using their phone in the UK bad weather or in the humidity of Australia and not have to return their phone. They can carry on making calls, they can download data, take photographs. But the trouble with the untreated phones is they get corroded, obviously the inconvenience to the consumer, but they send it back to the service provider who now has to either replace the phone, which comes straight out of their bottom line, or they have to actually discourage the customer and they may then leave and move on to another service provider.
A couple of years ago, we got to thinking. My Android phone has already replaced this, and this, and even this. So why the heck was I still carrying around this monstrosity?
Introducing Google Wallet. It's the app that makes your phone your wallet.
Now this will be huge. Mobile money is coming, and MasterCard and Google are leading the charge.
I think here at Mobile World Congress we've seen a lot of the fruits of our labors. There's a lot of people seeing the logic of implementing mobile payment solutions, and fortunately a lot of them are working with MasterCard. So we're very proud to be here. We've got solutions for the emerging markets and we've got solutions for developed markets. We've actually launched some stuff in the United Kingdom last year with Orange and with Barclaycard, which is the first mobile contactless program in Europe, and so we're very proud to have partnered with them. But we've also announced some solutions for the emerging markets where we see tremendous potential to bring electronic payments to consumers who haven't had access to electronic payments until recently.
But all these transactions and technology will need faster, better data networks. They are on their way, but for us here in the UK, not anytime soon.
Much greater capacity, much greater speed, and to give you an idea, probably a 10x change in speed. So if you're experiencing 2 to 3 megs today, you'll probably get, even when loaded, 20 to 30 meg downloads. And the third thing is latency or ping time, or what's sometimes called click to bang, which is that the network is really, really responsive. So things like online gaming, which you would never dream of doing currently on a mobile network, are just as good as on a desktop experience under a 4G network. So it won't just be about doing things faster, it'll be about doing things differently.
The faster networks will come eventually. It's called LTE, but unfortunately, talking to a lot of handset manufacturers, there seems to be problems with LTE as well, in that there's lots of different types of LTE, and this is where it gets very boring and a bit complicated, but there's different types of LTE around the world. And what you're finding is that America's adopted LTE, so a lot of the American companies here are saying, look, we've got this brand new LTE handset because that's what we need for the US. But, we're now having to make another version for the UK because they don't have LTE yet. And then there's another version for Australia because they have LTE, but it's a different type of LTE.
I think for businesses to start there, what they'll find is that all of the services that they offer today on their network, on their LAN in the office, can be deployed through the cloud to all of their employees, whether they're in the office or elsewhere. And what that does is creates great flexibility for your workforce, whether it's working from home or whether it's your colleagues who are out and about, maybe on the road in sales or other things. So it creates much more flexibility in the workforce.
And here's further evidence, if it's needed, of the power of the post-PC mobile age. Microsoft went not to a computer fair, but to Mobile World Congress to launch Windows 8, designed to run on any screen, phone, tablet, or PC.
We set out to build Windows in a new way. We thought about engineering and design from the chipset through the experience. And we did this while still maintaining the best of the existing PC ecosystem. The ability to have a wide variety of choice, different price points, the ability to go from consumer through professional, and bringing this diversity to over 1 billion customers.
Mapping and driving on mobile phones, nothing new, but this is quite new. Look, on this particular set of mapping, if I don't like the car, I can flip it upside down, or if I don't want to drive the car at all, I can change it into a duck. Now, this is the brainchild of Telmap here at Mobile World Congress, and Motti Kushner is with us to explain why. Why is your mapping system better than all the others, Motti?
You know, everybody have maps today with their phones. You can search the map, get the route, directions, boring stuff. The problem that we are all facing, what can we do while out and about? So it starts with, we want to find stuff. I want to find stuff from my friends on Facebook, okay? So I'm clicking Facebook, and now I want to find places by Facebook. So here they are on the map, okay? I want to find friends who checked in for Facebook. Here they are. So I'm connected to Facebook, I can give you all those interactions, and at the end, I can see the photo, walk, drive, do everything. What else can we find on Telmap? I want to find deals. I'm hungry, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. What can you show me? Here are deals. Every deal comes with an opportunity to drive, walk, but also all the relevant information, like where is the location, what is it, what can I get there?
And as smartphones become ever more commonplace and consume ever more data, new light is shed on the question of data security and privacy. That's a question the EU Commissioner Viviane Reding is keen to address. She wants to cut out bad practice and maintain confidence in mobile commerce.
We have a law now which unfortunately is not applied in an equal way from companies from outside of Europe and companies from inside of Europe, which means that for our European companies there is no level play, and that is very unfair competition, I do believe. Fairness is also one of the rules of the game for the future.
A lot of apps say, look, we're going to mine your data, we're going to use it to try and make the app that we're creating better. There are cases and examples where we might sell that to someone else who then might offer you a better service because they know a bit more about you. And guess what? You've said yes. And that's the big issue here, is that at the beginning of apps, there are certain apps that will say, we are going to give this information to other people. And what's happened, and what normally happens, is you get a load of T's and C's, a load of tick boxes, and you just don't realize that you're pressing those buttons, because you shouldn't really have to be fussed about reading that information.
But we have to be bothered to look after the security of our phones. The Android operating system is so popular and so well used, it's inevitable that some people are falling prey to dirty tricks.
There are basically three main, behaviors. First, the most popular are SMS Trojans, applications which send SMS messages to premium rate numbers, so you lose money, cybercriminals earn money. Second, these are, Trojan spies, applications which steal personal information about the devices, like contacts, pictures, SMS messages, call logs. Some types of malware are able to record the phone calls, store it in MP3 files, and later upload it to remote servers, for example. And last category are backdoors, applications which are able to, so if your device is infected, cybercriminals have a chance to remotely control your device and send commands to do something.
A brand well known for placing a high value on security is Blackberry, with its closed operating system. But its reputation has been on the wane of late, with handsets losing out to the popularity of the iPhone and a tablet that was supposed to take on the iPad, but didn't. Not so, say the Canadian firm. Reports of our death have been much exaggerated.
We have 75 million customers worldwide. We have more customers now that are pure consumer users than business users. I think the world of business use and consumer use is blurring, and that's not a BlackBerry thing or a smartphone thing. I think that's a social phenomenon. We want to make sure that we delight business users, small business users, pure consumer users that we want to reach. Also working with our mobile network operators worldwide, and also developers. We've got 5 target audiences to serve with the BlackBerry experience.
They haven't had the best time recently, especially with their Playbook price cuts, but they've just released the Playbook 2.0 OS. Had a look at that today. It looks good. It looks very sleek. I was surprised at how quick it was, how easy it was to use. So that was quite interesting. And they've got, of course, their Blackberry 10 OS coming up, which they couldn't say too much about. But I think they've learned quite a few lessons this past year. They've taken quite a lot in, and I think we should expect them to hopefully grab a tight hold of things and get back up there where they were before.
Cheap camera, black and white, and we use this Playbook here to coordinate and track.
And as if to prove the versatility of its Playbook, now with version 2 software, they're demonstrating a new kind of office meeting where tablets get together and share things. And it can become the central entertainment device in a Porsche.
Moving on down, we've got, so this is the instrument cluster. So to make this more, this is the center stack. To make this more automotive friendly, what we've done is we've taken out the ability to swipe on the Playbook here. So we've got hard buttons for those types of features. So yeah, you can load media, home, you can connect to the phone, these sorts of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get, this is off-board speech recognition. Play songs by Bob Marley and the Wailers. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to play a song here. It's going to connect to the internet. It's going to push that message up to the cloud. It's going to receive the result back and analyze with confidence which song I've selected. And that music, I believe, I don't even know where it resides in the car anymore. It could be on the rear nodes, it could be in the cloud, it could be in the head unit. It's somewhat irrelevant. The point is that wherever your media is, you have the ability to access it and search through it with that functionality.
But as a user, I don't really need to know.
Exactly.
I don't have to care.
Yep. The only reason we've highlighted in here when you're selecting which track you wish to show is just because we want to show that it is available in different locations. In a customer system, we would just aggregate all this data together, and then you'd be able to view all your media as one location.
Well, in this car, I see you also put screens at the back, so you've got.
Most certainly.
If you can get passengers in the back of this car, they could be watching or consuming
absolutely.
other stuff, right?
My kids fit just fine in the back of this car.
I think the theme this year has been around connecting everything in our lives. I've definitely seen that as an emerging trend in our industry. We believe there'll be about 24 billion connected devices by 2020. Everything in your life is going to be connected. Your healthcare appliance, your car, your utility meters, you name it, it's going to be connected. And I think that's really driving excitement and growth here.
It's interesting that there are so many people here, isn't it, Michael? Because you'd have thought a lot of the Western world's in recession, even R&D money might be being cut back, but on the evidence of this week, that's not the case.
No, and I think we've shown that mobile has the ability to transform industries and move them forward. So bringing that broad ecosystem, I'm using the ecosystem word, but of people here together, Bill Ford from the Ford Motor Company coming, advertisers coming, healthcare companies coming, banks coming, Visa speaking, Citibank speaking. That's really kind of the breadth that mobile has, and those folks are all coming to this show.
The Android marketplace, the Android operating system, continue to grow at a startling rate. Indeed, BlackBerry are making overtures, making it easier for Android developers to bring their creations into their marketplace as well. And here in Barcelona, there's an app for absolutely everything. Martin Stanford, Sky News, Barcelona.